Hello everyone. Have you ever wondered how the water flowing from your tap became safe enough to drink when the source it came from might have been a muddy river or lake? Today we are going to explore the fascinating journey of large scale water purification and understand the engineering behind safe and wholesome community water supplies. Before any filtration begins, storage acts as the primary natural pretreatment phase for raw water. This storage period brings about three types of purification happening together. The first is physical purification, where gravity settling causes about 90% of suspended impurities to settle down within the first 24 hours, improving water clarity and allowing light to penetrate. The second is chemical purification, where aerobic bacteria use dissolved oxygen to oxidize organic matter, causing free ammonia content to drop while nitrate levels rise. The third is biological purification, where pathogen die-off occurs and up to 90% of total bacteria die out within the first 5 to 7 days, which is considered the most critical benefit of storage. The optimal window for this storage is 10 to 14 days before algal growth begins to set in. After storage, one pathway of purification is the slow sand filter, which relies on gravity, time, and layered media. The first component is the supernatant or raw water layer, which provides a constant head to overcome bed resistance and acts as a 3 to 12 hour sedimentation waiting period. Below this lies the graded sand bed, made of clean rounded grains of 0.2 to 0.3 mm diameter, presenting a massive surface area of 15,000 square meters per 1 cubic meter, with a filtration rate of 0.1 to 0.4 cubic meters per square meter per hour. Beneath the sand lies the gravel support and under drainage layer, where graded gravel prevents fine sand from escaping and porous perforated pipes collect the safely filtered water. Finally, the filter control system uses regulating valves and a venturi meter to measure bed resistance or loss of head in order to maintain a steady flow. The most important part of the slow sand filter is a special layer called the Schmutzdecke, which acts as the biological heart of the filter. This is a slimy, gelatinous layer of 2 to 3 centimeters thickness that takes several days to ripen. It contains thread-like algae, diatoms and plankton and bacteria which together feed on organic matter, hold back bacteria and oxidize ammoniacal nitrogen. The functioning of this filter happens in three phases. First is ripening, where the initial filtrate is run to waste until the biological layer fully forms. Next is the filtration phase, where the filter operates continuously and is monitored until the bed resistance or loss of head exceeds 1.3 meters. Finally comes manual scraping, where the supernatant water is drained and unskilled labor manually scrapes off the top 1 to 2 centimeters of the vital layer. This scraping process can be repeated many times, but a total bed rebuild is required after 20 to 30 scrapings. The second pathway of purification is rapid sand filtration, which requires sequential chemical pretreatment. Rapid sand filters, which can be gravity type known as Patterson's or pressure type known as Candies, process water 40 to 50 times faster than slow filters but require 4 preparatory steps. The first step is coagulation, where a chemical coagulant called Alum is added at a dose of 5 to 40 milligrams per liter, depending on turbidity, pH, which is ideally around 7, and temperature. The second step is rapid mixing, involving violent agitation in a mixing chamber to achieve uniform, homogeneous dispersion of the alum. The third step is flocculation, which involves gentle stirring using mechanical paddles at 2 to 4 rotations per minute for about 30 minutes, forming thick, copious aluminum hydroxide floc. The fourth step is sedimentation, where the water is detained in tanks for 2 to 6 hours, allowing 95% of the floc to settle. These sedimentation tanks must be desludged regularly to prevent mollusk breeding. Once this pre-treatment is complete, the water passes through the rapid sand bed itself, which utilizes coarse grains and automated backwashing. A typical filter bed unit of 80 to 90 square meters has a water depth of 1 to 1.5 meters, a sand bed that is 1 meter deep with coarse grains of 0.4 to 0.7 millimeters, and a gravel layer of 30 to 40 centimeters, giving a filtration rate of 5 to 15 cubic meters per square meter per hour. During the filtration state, impurities clog the filter and the loss of head reaches 7 to 8 feet, which is approximately 2 meters. When this happens, the filter enters the backwashing state, where the flow is reversed for about 15 minutes, dislodging the impurities using less than 2% of the filtered volume. Now let us compare these two filtration methods side by side. In terms of pre-treatment needs, slow sand filters require only plain sedimentation and cannot handle turbidity above 20 NTU, while rapid sand filters require full chemical coagulation and flocculation. In terms of filtration rate, slow sand filters operate at 0.1 to 0.4 cubic meters per square meter per hour, while rapid sand filters are 40 to 50 times faster, at 5 to 15 cubic meters per square meter per hour. In terms of space requirements, slow sand filters need vast tracts of land, up to 1 acre per bed, while rapid sand filters are highly compact, needing only 80 to 90 square meters per unit. The primary mechanism of slow sand filters is biological through the Schmutz-Decay vital layer, while rapid sand filters rely on a mechanical and chemical mechanism through the Alum floc slime layer. Finally, in terms of cleaning method, slow sand filters are cleaned by manual scraping of the top 2 centimeters and can run for months, while rapid sand filters are cleaned through violent backwashing and typically run for only 1 to 7 days between cleanings. Regardless of which filtration pathway is used, disinfection through post-chlorination provides the final and essential safety barrier. This step is mandatory for both slow and rapid filtration pathways, and it systematically eradicates any pathogenic organisms, cysts, or ova that may have survived clarification and filtration. Post-chlorination also creates a critical residual safety margin where the residual active chlorine prevents recontamination as the purified water travels through miles of dark distribution piping to reach the final consumer. Bringing it all together, we can see the comprehensive architecture of large-scale water purification. Source water first undergoes storage for 10 to 14 days. From there, it can follow either the slow sand filter pathway, which is biological, slow, and manually cleaned, or the rapid sand filter pathway, which begins with coagulation, rapid mixing, flocculation, and sedimentation, followed by chemical mechanical fast filtration with backwashing. Both pathways then converge at the disinfection stage through chlorination before the water finally reaches the consumer with the assurance of residual safety. Hope you have understood about the principles and methods of large-scale water purification. If you found this video useful, please watch and share with your friends and colleagues. Thank you.